Hey, everybody.
Hey,
So, we have a question for you. Um, this came from, well, we're not given who sent us our questions. Just thank you for submitting
thank you.
questions to us. So, this says, I promise this has nothing to do with us. LOL. We love each other's family, but I think a lot of couples struggle with in laws. So, some type of way of giving advice with adapting or dealing with in laws would be helpful.
Hmm. So
That's good.
it is a
That's
good
a good
question. It is a
question.
good question. Um, Dealing with in-laws, I think the first thing that you have to look at is culture. Um, every family is a culture. Every family has a culture. Um, how they communicate, how they interact with each other, the things that are acceptable, things that are considered intrusive. And each person brings that culture into their marriage. So some things that may be annoying to you may just be the norm for them. And you have to learn that and you have to do um, the studying no different than going into another country. If you go there, you don't know what the social norms are. You go to that country, you have to learn the customs, you have to learn the culture, you have to know what's socially acceptable, what's offensive. The same thing holds true in a marriage situation. When you're dealing with in-laws, they come from a different culture, and so it's being able to learn the culture first, draw the good from both of your cultures, and then be able to take the good and create your own. I think that, and I think the key thing, one of the things that I think that people have a problem with as it relates to in-laws and the blending of families is there is right, there is wrong, and then there's just different. So a lot of times you think anything that doesn't coincide with your norm is wrong. And that may not be the case. Sometimes it's just different.
That's true. And I do want to bring a different perspective to it. Um, I think that it's really important that we we advocate and and I say advocate, I mean advocate for your spouse. I think there are certain situations where things might get heated, misunderstood, but it's because um, you're left to defend for yourself. So an example, I have a great relationship with my in-laws. Thank God. But if for any reason, if something would happen and I was offended by the way my mother-in-law approached me, or just some things that I felt, if I felt she was being disrespectful, anything like that, when I say let's be advocates, I would expect my husband to come to my aid to advocate for me. And maybe in that situation, so it doesn't present a situation where my mother-in-law and I are going at it, but him coming in and saying, Mom, you know, this is my wife, and not necessarily me being in the conversation, but just saying, let me step in and have a conversation with my wife. Maybe, I mean, with my mom, maybe because my mom doesn't know my wife the way I know her, I need to shed some light. Maybe the misunderstanding might be, like you said, cultural. Um, and just, maybe, I don't know, if you could come from a family where, they're not, they're not outspoken, or what you might consider being loving and concerned, someone else might feel they're intrusive or smothering.
It's culture, yeah.
So it's cultural.
Yeah.
So I do think that it's really important that we don't leave our spouses uncovered in those situations that would in turn have them in a place where they're the bad guys.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think, and one final thought on that is just, and I say it all the time, it's very difficult to be angry with someone that you understand.
Absolutely.
It's very difficult to be angry with a group of people that you understand. So the first attempt would be to understand. Why do you feel that way? Why do you say that way? Is that just the norm within your family? Seek to understand first. And once we understand, that kind of removes the anger from it, and now we get to constructively work through the differences.
Yeah. And do your best to remain respectful.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
the bottom line is that your in-laws are your spouse's parents. You know, so they're the ones that your spouse loves and respects and admires. So just try to follow suit until, you know, and sometimes it can be difficult or it can be challenging given the situations, but I think that we all go to work. We are respectful. We know how to present ourselves in uncomfortable situations. We deal with conflict management, all those kind of things when it comes to our jobs. How much more with people that are family, that we really do have commonality of, you know, wanting the best for one another and loving each other. So I think that we have to make sure that we remain respectful and then, you know, work through.
Yeah.
Work through.
There you
It
have
gets
it.
easier.
There you have it. Hope this helps. Please continue to send those questions.
Yes, please.
Please continue. And more than anything else, we're going to stay married together. Peace and God bless.
God bless.